What is going on, everybody? Jordan Espeseth here with another podcast show for real estate's DFW Real Estate's Best. Man, I'm excited for another great show. We've got some of my favorite people on this week, and this show is always brought to us by The Difference. It's powered by The Difference, and for those of you that don't know, The Difference radio live stream podcast, they provide video branding and digital business development solutions for small business owners and entrepreneurs locally and statewide. And they have over 600,000 viewers in 2020 alone. And The Difference can help businesses grow their brand awareness and develop a message that humanizes their brand in a way that grows your brand, expands your connections, relationships, and increases your influence and relevance. That can quickly help you become known as a power player and mover and shaker in your sphere, in your community, in your industry, and in the business world. And so we're super pumped and grateful to be powered by The Difference in London. It's been a pleasure using this platform and growing our real producers community. And so I'm excited to get rolling with this show. We have, again, I'm going to bring on our guest in a second. I always like to give, just in case there's some viewers out there that aren't totally sure what Real Producers is, I'd like to give that quick little overview of that. And so Real Producers is a national franchise. We're in over 100 markets across the nation, but there's 3 Real Producers here in DFW. I'm the owner of those 3. And we started about 3 years ago. We've been in print for over 3 years now, which we're super excited about. And we have a Real Producers for Collin County, Denton County. We have one for Dallas and one for over in Tarrant County as well. And what we do in each of those markets is we take the top 500 producing real estate agents in those markets. There's roughly 60,000 licensed agents in DFW. And so we're talking about the top 1-2% of real estate agents. If they're in that top 500 based off their MLS production, these agents receive our publication each and every month. It is their badge of honor for being a part of the top 1-2%. They get that publication for free, and they have the opportunity to be nominated and selected to be featured within our publication. And the beautiful thing that they love so much about Real Producers is it does not cost them a penny. It's just a testament to them and the business that they've built. We honor them. We share their stories, and we truly get to know these agents on a deeper level. We get to hear the good, the bad, the ugly, all the things that happen in their life to get to where they're at, which is one of the absolute best real estate agents in the market. So we have a really cool humanizing approach to our Real Producers magazine. We send it out digitally, physically. All of our business partners are Real Producers vetted businesses. These are the people that have our lender, title, roofers, inspectors, etc., that have come recommended to us by the highest producing real estate agents in the market. We take time to vet them and make sure that they are some of the absolute best businesses to be recommending to these top producing agents each and every month through our magazine. And so we have the best producing real estate agents. We have the best businesses that encompass Real Producers, and in a beautiful, beautiful publication that goes out every single month. Shout out to Mr. Kurt and Darla Bueller. Ex-spouse is selling houses on the cover of our latest issue. But the beautiful thing with our community too is that we tie it all together with events. We do big events and small events on a regular basis. We'll be talking about some of those events that we've recently had. But it's just a cool niche community around the best, where we get to meet the best real estate agents, best businesses face to face, and have a cool medium through our publication every single month. And we do a lot of other fun things like this podcast. What I like about this podcast is we actually open it up so that we get anyone who's aspiring to be some of the best businesses in the real estate world or some of the best real estate agents. They can hop in, take a glimpse into our Real Producers world, take a peek into that top 1-2% community and see what's going on. And so we're really excited about this podcast that we have. We're really excited about what we're building here with Real Producers in DFW. I'm really excited about the team that we've built. Today, I have 2 awesome guests. One of our guests, he's the man that I co-own Tarrant Real Producers with. I want to do a quick shout out to Mr. Lance Donahoe. Unfortunately, he won't be here. He has some personal things happen in his life, and I'm sure he'll be sharing that in the near future. But he will not be with us today. But just keep him in your thoughts and prayers. We love you, Lance, man. And we have some awesome guests that will be on with us though. Lance brings a lot of energy, but I also love these two that we're bringing on. So Landon, why don't you go ahead and bring on both? She's my co-owner. Almost basically, she's my right-hand lady, Rachelle. She basically tells me what to do these days. My full-time hire. She's our assistant publisher. She is absolutely fantastic. And then also Miss Jenica. I don't know what title to put on Jenica anymore because she does a million different things, but she's over there in London, 6 hours ahead of us. So it's 5 p.m. right now, right, Jenica? Gals, welcome to the show. Thanks for hopping on.
Thank you all.
It's good to be here.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm excited to get rolling, guys. I always love that we get to take some time out of the week for us to hop on. I do a show with our North DFW, and I have one of our North DFW partners and one of their agents they work with, and then Rachelle does Dallas, and then Lance does Tarrant. Then we hop on together, and we kind of just review a lot of the stuff that has happened in the last month, some of the key takeaways from some of those incredible podcasts that we had with those guests, and I'm just excited. I'm excited to do this and to be here with you guys.
We had a very busy month beyond obviously the podcasts and the regular things that we do, the magazine. I mean, we've had a big month with some big events. It's been good.
It's been good. It's been crazy. I think we're all excited and hoping that it kind of slows down a little bit. I mean, we're blessed to be busy. It's going to be nice to get past August because what we had, was it 5 events? 5 events in August. And so, and preparing for one next month, preparing for a really big one that we have.
I don't know if it's going to slow down. Here you say that, I'm like, what we have planned in the fall.
That's we'll just keep saying that, Rachelle, so it gives us hope that one day there's some light at the end of the tunnel. Now 2020 we'll hopefully we'll have a little more, I don't know. We'll see. We'll
get a little bit more sleep. Just kidding. Huh?
Yeah, that sounds fun. Well, Rachelle, you had an awesome show last week. Who'd you have on as your guest last week?
Yeah, actually it was, I think the week before, because I think Lance was on last week, but I was on the week before, the day before. So speaking of big events, we had our Dallas event. Was it 2 weeks ago now?
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. If you haven't had a chance, those of you that are listening or watching, we posted the recap video today. Bill Brock with White Rock Studios did an excellent job, posted some photos from Jen the other day. Many of you in the community know and love Jen. He's fabulous, but I'm sure people from seeing those photos can just tell what a blast we all had at the Frontiers of Flag Museum.
Yeah, that was
celebrating. Celebrating, connecting, and just really enjoying a cool space, some good hors d'oeuvres there. But the night before, I had one of the key ladies who came to the event. We were supporting the charity she started at the event called DFW Real Estate, or Real Estate's Best. That's our podcast, ladies and gentlemen. But DFW Angels. For some reason, I always want to say DFW Angels. And so she was on the show. Brandy Dosser. Many of you know her from Lawyer's Title. But I also had Catherine Daves from Lawyer's Title. And then Skylar Champion from Dave Perry Miller, a top producing agent there, but also a Dallas Real Producers Top 100 agent. And oh my goodness, did we have some fun chatting it up on the show. I felt Jordan and Jenica, we could just have talked way longer. And it was so good. I mean, we talked about several different things. Obviously, we talked about the event happening the next day, how excited we were to be supporting DFW Angels. For those of you listening, one of our events that we do during the year, for each territory, we do an event that has a charity component where people can give if they feel. So people have the opportunity to get involved, to pour into DFW Angel, a community that supports and helps children and families in the foster care community. And so it was just great. hearing from Brandy. One thing I'll say that stood out from me from what she shared there is, a lot of the problems that we face in today's society, like teen pregnancy, the jail system and drugs and, just different substance abuse, all sorts of different things. She says links back to, a person's childhood. And so she said it is so key getting involved in these children's lives at that critical age, where we can help build them up and, prevent these things that happen later on in life. And that just really resonated with me. I'm a firm believer in mentorship. I'm a firm believer in pouring into people's lives while they're still at that formative, crucial age. And so certainly have a lot of respect for Brandy, her team, DFW Angels, and what they're doing. I don't know if you guys had any thoughts on that, or I can share more.
I thought Brandy, she spoke for a couple minutes at the event, and she laid down some pretty awesome, I shouldn't say awesome, pretty powerful facts that, just kind of opened your eyes. And so it was, I know our whole team, we were very grateful to be able to be a part of that and to help support. We've done a feature on DFW Angels. I think it was back in 2020 as well. It was a super cool feature. But yeah, so, it was a great event and a great cause. And, we had, and then fast forward one more week and we had another event, which was at a ballpark, which was like right over here. You guys can't see, but it's close. They at the Frisco Rough Rider Stadium, and that was for our North DFW community. And I was laughing because I never do events. I think since I started this 3 years ago, I've never had one event outside. They've all been inside, and this was the first event in probably like 30 events that we've done that was outside. All the 29 previous events were inside, and it was a sunny day, every single one. But this one that we had outside was like just rainy all day. But the event came, the rain stayed away, and it was one of my favorite events. Like, the venue was so cool. We were at the Diamond Deck right off of left field. People got to stay for the game that started at 7. The weather, it was actually kind of cool that day. Like, it was like 80 degrees and breezy, which 80 degrees seems hot to a lot of people here in Texas, and it
was a good day.
Yeah. And so, and that one we gave back to another a great charity as well, which was Creek and Timber Legacy.
Yeah.
And that was fantastic.
Yeah, I love that our community of the best in real estate here in DFW. I love what you say about them. We're a giving community. And I mean, even a bunch, some of the top producers, I think of James Sharp, I started Sharp Shoes, or Missy Phipps, who was there at the ball game. Shout out to you, Missy, who has a organization. Help me, Jenica. What is the name of that charity that helps widowed or mothers, who have a terminal illness? Something Wish, I think, because it was based off of her friend who
her friend's name. I think it was like Amelie's Wish or Amelia's Wish
or something. But an incredible community. And so we also just love supporting those organizations. And you can be a top producer. You can be a very successful, busy woman in business like Brandy or like Dustin Payne, with Payne Insurance Group, who started Creek and Timber Legacy and started charity. And I loved on the show that with Brandy, how she just shared some encouragement in regards to that. And so if anybody's listening and you're just passionate about something, you have a charity or something on your heart, you're like, something's missing here. Perhaps like Condi says, be the change you want to see in the world. And I would encourage you to listen back to that episode and just get inspired, get challenged from what Brandy shared.
And that's what I love about our podcast too, is because they end up, and I mean, we're blessed that we get to meet with these top agents and businesses on a regular basis. And I'm grateful that we have this show so people can hop in on and take a glimpse into that. But the show's inspiring. Like, I was just thinking back to last week, I was, or when I did mine last, about 3 weeks ago, I had Mike Dennis and a top agent in our Tarrant Real Producers community, as well as Jameson Olson with All My Sons Moving. And Jameson, she mentioned prior to getting into All My Sons Moving, she kind of mentioned that All My Sons really pulled her out of a really dark time in a dark area that she lived. She lived in her car for 1 month with a cat in a litter box in there. And, you know, because I love to, one of my favorite things to ask and that we talk about a lot on, I bring it up on every show, is I want to know people's like, why are they motivated? Why do they, you know, is there pain in their life that pushes them to succeed? Or they have a vision of something grander that they really want to get to and achieve and give back and all this stuff. And I love to, it opens people up when you ask that question. And just when we, you know, last week, or last time I was on, when Jameson mentioned that, it was like, obviously that must create so much, you know, there's pain associated with that. If you have to live in your car for a month, you know, and when you get pulled out of that and you start to see the other side, I know that for her, that created so much motivation to be like, I do not want to go back to that. Like, that is something that, you know, was obviously incredibly hard for her. I think about when I moved here, I thought I had it bad. I mean, I really didn't, but you know, I for 14 months, I stayed on in my apartment. I slept on an air mattress, which I didn't think was so bad, but I slept on an air mattress. You know, my desk was a pop-up table from Target. I had nothing on the walls. My 20-inch TV sat on a TV stand. I lived like that for, you know, it's 14 months, which in a lot of situations, that's, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that was a bad, but, you know, I mean, it wasn't awesome by any means, by any standard of it. But I think when, you know, you look at what Jameson had gone through and when you listen in on these podcasts and you get to hear people's stories and read our magazine, you know, we talk about Cassie Salmons. We featured her, right, a couple months back, our Overcomer agent who was an addict for many years and has been clean for over 10 years. And now she empowers women. It's like we get to hear these stories. And that's why I love the podcast. I love the show. I love the magazine, because so many people in a world that is, you know, latent. Is that the word I'm looking for? Jen's kind of when I say words, I'm like, Jen, is that a word?
He's the wordsmith of the group.
A lot the other day, but in a world that's covered with negativity and gloom and doom and all this stuff, you know, I think that I'm grateful that our platform can shed inspiration and light on to keep people going, because people need.
Speaking of why, Jordan, Jen, you did a post out to our community. We have the public groups, and if you're not following our public pages for our Dallas Real Producers or Tarrant or North DFW, make sure to give it a follow. But if you have made the list, you are part of this exclusive community as an RP vetted business or a top agent, you should be a part of our closed group. So if you're not, make sure to talk to one of us and we'll get you added. But we love to also just facilitate just community within that closed group and getting to know one another. And like Jordan said, inspiring and challenging and each other. And Jenica, you did a post this last month that just ties in exactly to what Jordan is saying.
Yes, well, we did a post last week. We're doing posts a few times a week, and we did one a couple weeks ago on sharing your vision board, which I think is really empowering and important. I've been doing vision boards for at least 10 years, and it's really amazing to actually go back and look at that at the end of each year and see what you've kind of like actually accomplished.
Jen, do you have it on your phone, or do you actually create like a physical board?
I have a Pinterest board, which I shared on the close. But normally I've redone my home working space, so I'm going to be doing it. Usually what I do is I have like a painted marker, and I just draw all over my mirror, and I like write out goals and things that I want to see done. And then at the end of the year, I can like wipe it off and be like, I did that and I did that. And
nice.
We'll keep it in front of you. I like it.
Exactly.
The one though, with what Jordan was sharing too about the why, like what he loves about being a part of the group. You just recently did a post asking those a part of the group to share your why. So what are some of the responses that you've seen we're getting there?
So something I think is worth mentioning is we talk to people every week that really inspire us. And like Jordan is talking about Cassie Salmons, we interview people and we're talking to agents who are doing incredible things and regularly bring me to tears with how incredible they are. And so we had a few people respond, but I remember, so a week and a half ago, I was talking to an incredible agent named Elizabeth Gleason, and I just, wow, she was just amazing. But she shared about her 4 children being her why. And something that she said, which she'd gone through a lot of about 5 years ago. And she said, I needed to show my children that I couldn't retreat. I needed to be a strong woman and show them what a strong Christian woman can do. And I was just like, wow, this woman, she's just incredible. So she shared, but there's several agents who came back and several business people who came back and shared their why. And it was just always so inspiring.
Yeah. It's good. So if you're watching and you're a top agent, or again, you're an RP vetted business, make sure to look for those posts, and as well, post your own questions, your own thoughts. It's wonderful, the social media medium, how we can use that to also help facilitate connection and community.
Yeah, I see. I actually didn't know. I you guys gotta do this. And August 23rd, what is that? Is that that was like Friday or something? You guys made one? No, it's Monday. It was 2 days ago, and it was real estate humor. And I actually haven't. I see there's 24 copies. I bet that that's probably going to be some interesting.
All right, Mark Koretsky or Theron. Anybody watching? Go there and just maybe we need to vote on the best meme that was shared. Some others shared as well, but. I was totally encouraging a meme battle between Mark and Theron there. Shout out to you guys.
I see one from Haley Howard. It was a text. Someone texted her and said, "Wrong number, friend." Maybe she said that. I don't know. But then someone said, "Thanks, but I'm not your friend, guy." Well, I'm not your guy, buddy. Well, I'm not your buddy, pal. Well, I'm not your pal, friend. And then I don't know if was this actually her, or is this like a meme? Because
I think I saw someone posting that as well. You had shared on the news feed or something. So I think it's just a funny thing going around from, Okay,
because then it says the next one's like, I totally plan on keeping this going, but I got to ask, are you looking to buy or sell a home? It says we're actually just talking about how much we could get for our homes. So, I'm a big fan of memes.
Yeah. Hey, maybe starting our podcast, we pick one of those memes. We start with a real estate humor joke or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember a speaker that I would listen to. He would always start before speaking with a joke. I thought that was great.
Oh, yeah.
I'm inspired, Mark and Theron. I'm inspired, and Haley and
Joel Osteen. That's what Joel Osteen does.
Oh, really? It's a speaker called Bill Johnson.
So. I was gonna say Bill.
me and Jenica are pretty heavy on memes back and forth in our messaging. So I love
the time that I finally tried to chime in. It just ended up being just a word because I searched it and had to click a meme or something, and it sent the word that I was trying to search. But anyway.
Sweet, Rachelle.
Yeah, I'm very technologically savvy, guys.
Well, yeah, I love what we're doing. We're definitely starting to grow the engagement within the group. I see now we have 752 members. I mean, it keeps growing. It's going to be a fantastic group. I'm really excited about what we're building in there. And so, yeah, again, just encouragement to any agent and partner that if you guys have valuable thoughts or that you want to post in there, or questions, or you see some of the stuff that we post, we love to hear your thoughts. And it's becoming a pretty fun group. And so nice work to Jenica and Rachelle, because you guys are kind of heading that up. Well, guys, we have an event today. Rachelle, I don't know if we want to bring up that and to tomorrow.
Yeah, the magazine celebration parties. So
what are those?
Super excited. I have Dallas's issue here in North DFW in Tarrant, not too far away from me. But we're super excited at these magazine celebration parties. For those of you that don't know, and are like, hey, where's my invite? Because we know many of you top agents and RP vetted businesses love to party and just gather together and connect. But the celebration parties are exclusively to those top agents and RP vetted businesses that we've spotlighted with an article in the magazine. We usually invite a few additional, but we keep it more of a smaller, intimate group. So per territory, we have 6 of those a year. And so we're excited to do some celebrating, pop the champagne, the confetti. Of course, we'll have our professional photographer and videographers there to capture it. So you guys can still take part by watching the recaps after, but certainly excited to see some familiar faces we know today for Tarrant and tomorrow for North DFW in Dallas. And it's going to be a good time.
Did we get the new confetti again? I know we ran out of the really awesome confetti. Do we have that, you know?
Mandy? Mandy helps us with our events, and she's keeping track of those orders there. So, yeah, it would be awesome to see our RP Blue.
We'll have to bring Mandy on one of these times.
Yes, we totally do. We love Mandy.
Yeah, because I'm excited. I don't know I don't think now is the time to really go into detail about it, but the event that we're going to have in November, I'm just going to do a little teaser, guys. You will not want to miss that one. It's going to be the best, most badass, most awesome. There's going to be a lot of FOMO with that event, I can promise you. It's going to be an awesome event, November 11th. And I don't think I say anything more, Rachelle. I think I leave it at that, right?
I've been a little bit bad in some of my meetings recently. I can't help but share a little bit to some agents there, but I guess we'll be making more of a grand announcement soon. So
yeah. Let's just make sure you fellas get your suits, ladies get your gowns. It's gonna be a great time. So, man, well, I'm excited. Well, gals, anything else? I mean,
I know I mentioned a nugget about my podcast, and certainly there's more I could share from the podcast I did with Skylar, Brandy, and Catherine. But I know, Jordan, you shared about Jameson. Jenica, I know you talked to Lance and tuning in with his podcast and his guests. So I wonder if there's any nuggets we can share from that recap.
Oh, and a Jen Free.
She must be frozen. Oh no, joys of technology. Well, she's coming back on. I'll share another. I love the timing of that, don't you?
Beautiful.
But no, another thing I thought was so key, and actually I was meeting with the top agent this morning, Chris Hickman for Dallas. Seriously, if you guys don't know Chris, inspiring guy. A lot of the top agents I meet with and just people generally, I think there's just a struggle with work and life balance. But Chris has got it working for him. And he's one of the rare agents that I've talked to that he says, I know how to put my phone down. And, he's learned to delegate. He's learned the importance of, I need time away. In fact, he was just about to go on a vacation here. So again, hope you enjoy the vacation there, Chris. But he's like, for me to give my best for work and showing up, I need that time away. And it just was so inspiring what he shared. And it just makes me think again of the show with Catherine and Skylar. A big emphasis that we had was talking about balancing career and family. These women are rocking it in business, yet they have young families. And, oh my goodness, if you are a person that needs to be inspired, you're wondering, how do you do it? How do you be, in that top 1% to 2% for real estate here, rocking it in business and have a young family? You need to watch the show. Go back, watch the show. They share some things that they've employed to be able to, like Amy Maynard Flores, when I met with her, have it all. That's her encouragement as well. I think she's a 6-month-old and she's back to work, rocking it. And she's like, you can have it all. And so there's certainly just keys to keeping organized, having systems in place, learning to delegate, that truly you can balance both. And so I would encourage those of you, if you're struggling in that area, like I think most people are, at least from who I talk to, definitely you want to go back to the show and hear from those women. But Jenica, I was throwing it to you earlier saying, I'm sure that there's some nuggets there from Lance's podcast with Ann Jeanette and his other guests that you want to share.
Yes, thank you, Rachelle. It was a really great show with Anjanette, and Lori Murdoch. So it was actually really fun. Lots of Lori's kids and friends were tuning in, and we found out her nickname is Lala from the different engagement that was happening on the show.
The things you find out, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. So Anjanette and Lori have known each other for a lot of years, and they actually met over a cup of coffee. But they were talking about different things in business, about how to avoid risk, about all the different nuances that you face in the industry, and how to help people overcome things and actually, overcome things and help people get mortgages when they've maybe hit a bump in the road. So it was a really great show, and it was nice to see two old friends like you and me, Rachelle, old friends.
You go way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always good tips. One thing you mentioned, Rachelle, Chris said he can put his phone down. I think that's like one of the hardest things all of us are. These companies that have billions and billions of dollars, and they spend millions and millions to literally do anything possible to keep us addicted to our phone. Like, I don't think it's a sinister thing, but they're just, obviously they know, like, as a company, if they have if we're spending more time on the device, it's more revenue for them. Like, that's pretty obvious. I don't think it's a sinister thing, but it can really suck the life out of you if you let, work, or even just simply your phone. And while I was actually talking with Jenica, we had this conversation just this past week, because we were like on a call and her phone just kept going buzz, 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 and she's like, "Oh my God, all my notifications." She's like, "Do they ever drive you crazy, Jordan?" And I was like, "No, they don't. They did, but I watched. If you guys haven't seen it yet, The Social Dilemma."
No, I haven't. I've heard it's good though.
Yeah, it makes you think twice about a lot of your screen time and stuff like that. But from that, what I ended up doing, because I was the same way, like I would be in a meeting like this and on my computer, I have a Mac. If I got an email, if I got a text, or like a notification would pop up right on, like even during this podcast right now, it'd be like a text from so-and-so, and my attention gets diverted to that. Now I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, oh, I got to get back to the podcast, right? Or on my phone, right? So I don't get any notifications on my computer anymore. If you guys don't know, you can actually go through, you can choose, you can customize it if you want. You're like, I don't want any notifications, but I do want my email. You can get that notification, or you can turn everything off. So my computer, no notifications, nothing's notifying me. Even on my phone, like I don't get, the only notifications I get are calendar. Like when I have a meeting coming up in like 10 minutes, it'll be like, hey, you have a meeting coming up. Or phone calls. That's literally it. If I get a text,
Jordan, you don't get my notifications anymore.
I have a habit of checking my phone.
It's coming out now.
I have a habit of checking my phone relatively frequently, and so like I'll go to my phone, but like it won't show on my home screen. It's not going to light up.
No,
when I go in, it will say like right now, if I go in, it says I have 8 text messages and too many emails, but. So that will show up, but my attention's not continually being diverted throughout the day. I can control that more. And I would suggest, I told Jenica to look into that. Rachelle, if we haven't had that conversation, you as well. Landon, you're back there. Anyone that's listening, man, like take control of the notifications. If you get notifications for like Facebook even and like all that, that's just bananas. Like you guys got to turn that off, because you got to get control of your attention, because there's so many things out there that are trying to take our attention. And
well, and it's interesting that you I love what you're sharing there. Because again, with Chris, super inspired, and it just was like so refreshing. It was refreshing to hear someone who's succeeding in that top 1 to 2% that says, I can put my phone down, because most people I meet with, they are available around the clock. But what he shared with me is, there's a cost. There's a cost to my decision of putting the phone down. But there's a cost more if I'm keeping my phone on me all the time, if I'm not taking a break, if I'm, not taking time away from myself and I'm working around the clock. He's like, there's a cost, obviously, cost if I'm not available all the time, but cost if I am. He's like, I'm choosing the lesser of the costs.
Yeah.
And he talked, about joy, happiness, being rejuvenated. And he said, having that, in that quality of life is way more worth it to him than he didn't put it this way, but I'll just say a couple more bucks. He did not put it that way. I want to be clear, but you got to weigh costs. And I completely agree with him. It's so important to take care of your health. It's so important to rejuvenate, to spend time with family and friends, to be present. Like you're talking about, Jordan, you don't want to, get to the end of your life and realize you weren't present in a lot of those important moments, that you sacrificed a lot of joy, happiness, being able to take a break on the beach or the mountains, wherever that special place is for you. And so it just was inspiring. But a key for him, he shared too, was learning how to delegate and learning not to, just do it all. And I know that you also have been huge in encouraging people in that as well, Jordan. That's an important thing to learn. It can be a hard thing, especially when you are, perhaps a type A, you're succeeding. It's hard to let go of that control, but it's so integral to, you want to be successful, of course, business-wise, but you want to be successful personal-wise. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's where implementing some of these things that we're talking about is so key. And again, I want to do just a shout out again to the gals I had on the podcast a couple weeks ago. Go back and listen and be inspired, by some moms of some young children, but who are rocking it in business and have learned to delegate, get organized, put systems in place so they can have that work-life balance. And talk to Chris Hickman, people.
The reality is we only have so much brain power in a day, right? And so if we're using, we have to decide how we want to use it. It's almost like the battery on your phone. You know what I mean? Like you have so much battery power, and you got to decide how you want to use it, and
you got to recharge. That's a good analogy, Jordan.
Well, every time your phone goes off, like you see that badge when you get a notification on Facebook, like that literally is designed to release dopamine in your brain. You only have so much dopamine in your brain. Do you want to use it on the notifications that are coming in every single day? Or do you want to use it in other ways? They even have studies where if by the way, if you ever get convicted of a crime, try to do your best to make sure that your court session is not the end of the day, because they found that convictions are way more harsh, and people are they're more harshly convicted and more frequently convicted if their trial is just simply at the end of the day versus in the morning, because people have more brain power, they're a little more forgiving, they have more thought process, but by the end of the day, they're tired, they're cranky, and they just give them, you know what I mean? And so it's like,
hopefully no one's taking notes on that one.
I say that to say we only have so much brain power, and do we want to use that in silly ways throughout the day? I think we got to be smart on how we use it. It sounds like Chris knows what's up. Even my watch, I was super nervous about getting an Apple Watch because I keep seeing people doing this, like when I'm having meetings with them and they're doing that, and I want to politely, I don't like it. So I refused to get it until I realized, well, hey, same with my watch, I can create it so the notifications don't come up on my watch either.
It's having the self-control, which I think, again, is such a tricky thing in our culture, with, again, being bombarded, like you're talking about, putting boundaries, not having perhaps maybe your phone next to the bed. Definitely something that I think many of us, including myself, I need to work on.
Totally. Yeah, I think we all can get better at that. Lyndon, man, in the background, any thoughts that you've had throughout the show? How's it going on your end back there? Just hanging out?
Yep, hanging out, listening to you, taking notes on how to stay out of trouble if I had to go to court. This was a great show. Fortunately, I get to sit in live with each one of you shows, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I just can't stress enough how impressive it is, the people that you guys are connecting yourselves with, and then the effort you put into connecting them with the other people that are going to make the difference, when they make those connections. I just think it's so cool. Jenica, you do so much work. You and I have conversations all the time. Rachelle, I just need half of y'all's energy. I really do. But I'm so excited and grateful to be able to work with such a great group that understands that. I mean, you know, it's such a challenge anywhere you are to run a small business. I mean, it is. Jordan, you know this. I mean, you know what it's like to start from scratch, and you know, you have that fear of not going back to where you used to be. And we all need a support group. I mean, there's not one single business out there. And many times we get so caught up in working in our business that we're isolated from the other people that we really need to keep us encouraged, keep us motivated, and keep us pushing forward. And you guys do such a great job of that. I want to say, great job. Keep it going. Just love you guys to death.
Appreciate that, Landon.
Nice.
Yeah. Love the kind words. I was going to say, by the way, guys, I should have known. I'm probably rocking around a lot on the podcast today. I got a standing desk for those that are watching, and I have this little rocking board. It's great. We're talking about keeping your attention and stuff like that. I may look like a crazy man over here, like swaying back and forth, but it helps keep my attention.
You know what? I want to comment on something you said, and I just want you guys' feedback. You know, I'm an old guy. I've been around for a while, and going through school, you know, we had people that kind of were challenged sometimes with their attention, but we never had the ADD diagnosis or anything like that. And I'm not here to diminish that or say it doesn't exist, but imagine all of the visual distractions that we have as human beings now. In our car, everything is digital in the car. Everything is just flashing and going off. You've got it on billboards everywhere you drive. And I think that, Jordan, you hit on such a great topic that we have to find a way to filter that stuff out, because we are just, and people have realized that, you know, the dopamine that you talk about that stimulates us. I mean, it's like being at a casino, right? The bell's going off, the lights flashing. People have taken what they knew many, many years ago, and they've implemented it into marketing now. And to, you know, everybody's competing for our attention. And if we are so distracted sometimes, and I know that I am, I've got, you know, 3 computer screens going here. I've got my phone going here. And you're right. You have to figure out a way to disconnect and stay connected. And that's a challenge.
Yeah.
Use social media like smarter. You know, make it work for you, not work against you.
So we did a show about 2 years ago, and one of the an agent from Austin came up, and this is when things changed for me, because we were talking. You know, different people have different perceptions of social media. Some people want to avoid it. I think it's almost necessary now to grow a business. But he said the minute that you can change your mindset from social media to service media, he goes, you will start looking at it completely different. You don't look at it from an entertainment perspective, from a distraction. You look at it from a serving and connecting perspective. And it just blew me away, because I was kind of caught in the middle. I mean, I was just easily distracted. You know, I see a meme. I'm crazy about memes. I love them.
Don't go to the post in the closed group.
I already saw it. Theron Smith is just like, you know, he's a hoot anyway, but he just kept putting those out. But, you know, I love the inspirational memes. And I thought, man, how cool would it be to do a show, have a inspirational meme or something that was really insightful, and just discuss that. Because I think we look at memes as more entertainment, but a lot of them can be thought provoking. But, you know, just, you know, having the memes and everything like that, I really had to learn how to, as Jordan, as you said, filter what I needed to be looking at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with memes, right? But if it's something we're looking at for 2 hours a day.
Balance, like we've been talking about. Balance.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. No, I love it, guys. Well, I think it's great. It was a great show. I think we learned some great things today. I think we're all better people because of our 45 minutes here.
Absolutely.
And they'll be better if they watch next week's show, right, Jordan? Who do you have on?
That's right. I got a guest in the works, and he's always a hoot. And so, Landon, Rachelle, Jenica, anything you guys want to add before we wrap this baby up?
I'm good.
I'm good too.
Just that I'm really grateful for all of you and this amazing community. And let's keep going. I'll see you guys
I
soon.
love it,
Good
Jen.
words to end the podcast on. I like it.
And we're gonna encourage Jen to move from London to Dallas, Texas. So
Yes.
all right. Well, Rachelle, Len, and Jenica, thank you guys all for being on the show. Thank you guys all who were listening, all the agents that support us, all the businesses that support us, all the fans that support us. Man, we appreciate you guys. We support you guys. And we will see you next week at the same time. Have a great week, y'all.